Hello gems, Leah from Red Emerald Yoga. Welcome back to my channel for today's reading. Today we will be doing a reading for the new year to bring in 2025. Before we begin, I invite you to come to a comfortable seated position, sitting up nice and tall, elongating your spine, and bring your awareness to your breath. Notice what it's doing and how you feel right now in this moment. I invite you to close your eyes and set an intention for your reading. An intention to be open, to be receptive, and to allow yourself to be fully present. Taking one more deep inhale here. Exhale and breathe your eyes open. Okay, welcome to your reading. Go ahead and select the pile, either by the crystal or the card deck that most draws your name, pulls you in. Let's see, I shouldn't get rid of that yet. So for pile number 1, we have Tarot of the Witch's Garden, okay, or this Aura Quartz. If the Aura Quartz or Tarot of the Witch's Garden is calling your name, you will be pile 1. For pile 2, we have Eldritch Overload, or this little agate. For pile number 3, we have Lumina Tarot, and this is the French edition. So if Lumina Tarot, or this little heart, I think this is glass actually, I don't think this is a crystal, but if the little heart glass is calling your name, you will be pile 3. For pile 4, we have Slavic Legends Tarot, or this selenite wand. So go ahead and jump down to the timestamp below, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile 1. If you have selected the Aura Quartz or Tarot of the Witch's Garden, this reading is for you. I'm going to apologize in advance. I don't know if it'll pertain to your reading or not, but I can hear my neighbors outside. They're really excited. They're doing a bunch of things. So if they come through in the reading, they're just going to be there because the new year waits for no neighbors to go inside. So let's see what your cards have to say to you today. I think I should have to scoot these over just a little bit more. Okay. Okay, let me scoot this back a tiny bit because these are just slightly off camera. Okay, I want you to feel like you're here with me, being able to see all the cards. So card 1, this is the previous year in summary. Here we have 2 of Cups. I feel like you made some new connections with people on an emotional level. It was a year of getting to know people better, a year of conversations, a year of really opening up, and a year of opening up and really discovering who people are. opening up yourself, sharing who you truly are with others. Lessons learned from the past year. Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, I see this as a time of financial hardship. I see this as a time of money being tight, money being difficult. I could see this as, for some of you, that may have resulted in a loss of a job, or even just resulting in fears, having insecurities, fears about coming into this new year. For some of you, that might be fears with the new presidency. But it would be really regarding that root chakra, fears about having your basic needs met. I also feel like this would be for some of you growing, learning from past mistakes, really seeing like, man, I wish if I had known what I know now, I would have done things a little bit differently. And I could see that regarding your finances, your structural foundations, regarding meeting your basic needs. Aspirations for the next 12 months. Here we have the World in the reverse. I feel like your aspirations, pile one, for the next 12 months are going to be kind of making a U-turn, heading back around and taking care of unfinished tasks, unfinished projects, tying up loose ends. I feel like there's a lot left in limbo, and 2025 is going to be a year of wrapping that up. I'm really drawn to the cards right here around here, and I feel like tarot can be a tool to help you stay the course. I know I have quite a few tarot readers who are learning tarot, who watch my channel, and for some of you, you might have even started a tarot course, taken it upon yourself to learn the tarot and kind of let that fall on the wayside. For those of you who fall into that category, I could see that as 2025 as a time of revamping those studies, really rekindling your desire to learn. And if you have started a course, then, wrapping that up, getting your certification. Card 4, what empowers you in reaching your aspirations? The Devil. I could see these people looking at what they've lost, okay? Like, okay, this is where we were, this is where I have been. Now, how do I get to here without losing myself? I feel like these would be temptations, these would be goals. I feel like this could also be like worldly desires. This could be like attaining a certain status or attaining a certain, I feel it's like a way that you present yourself to others, or a way that other people perceive you. Like you want to look good in the eyes of others. Because of where you've been. What may stand in the way of reaching your aspirations? Temperance in the reverse. I feel like this would be falling out of balance. Losing yourself, letting yourself get caught up in distractions and what other people want. Really giving in to a lot of temptations, addictions. For some of you, I don't normally associate this with these cards, but I kind of feel like, and please don't feel like I'm making fun of you or making light of you if you do have this condition, but like I'm strongly getting like distraction, like ADD, ADHD. I could see this as like wasting time on stuff that doesn't matter. And then you look at the clock and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the whole day is wasted and I didn't get anything done. I could see this as social media. I could see this as like scrolling around on the internet or playing games, but just like really losing touch with reality. Your relationships and emotions in the coming year. Two of Swords in the reverse. Two of Swords in the reverse. I feel like this is a card that is saying in the upcoming year, you're going to be taking a really hard look, an unbiased and unfiltered look at your friends, at your business relationships, at your family, at people in your circles, the way that you feel about them and the way that they feel about you, the way that people treat you. I feel like this blinder is finally going to come off. That you're going to finally open up your heart to the truth and you're going to see things for the way that they really are. Card 7, your career, work, and finances. King of Cups. I feel like you're going to feel a little bit more comfortable in this area in the upcoming year, especially considering it following up on last year. I feel like there may be surprises, but I feel like you're going to have a lot more comfort here in 2025. Again, that's not to say like just go crazy, spend all your money, you can do whatever you want because things are going to be great. I feel like some valuable lessons were learned in 2024 and you're carrying that with you into 2025. But I do see things improving for next year, 2025. Card 8, your health and well-being. 9 of Swords. This person is getting attacked by bees, but she's not moving from this hammock. Her cat's looking at her and the cat's kind of like, what are you doing? Why are you not moving? I feel like there may be some uncomfortable things that are either brought into your awareness or that you've already been dealing with. And 2025 is the year that's like, okay, pile one person, what are you going to do? Are you going to stay there and keep getting stung by these bees? You want to stay there and keep being uncomfortable? Or do you want to get up? I'm going to cuss here because that's like strongly what's coming through. You're going to get up off your ass and do something. I feel like this card is saying stop being the victim. What? You may not be able to control everything, but there is something that you're able to do that you're not doing. Or if it hasn't happened yet, there's something that may be presented to you and you're just like, oh my gosh, this sucks. My health and well-being is not so comfortable right now, but what are you doing about it? You know, I want you to come back to this card and be like, oh yeah, it's not going to go away on its own. I have to actually take action. I have to take steps to improve my situation. The good thing is that you can take steps to improve your situation. And for those of you who are already experiencing uncomfortableness in this department, well, whenever you're watching this reading, if I have it up and processed on YouTube before New Year, we'll start now. You don't necessarily need to wait until 2025 to begin. Card 9, your spiritual energy and inner fulfillment. Ooh, King of Pentacles. I feel like that's going to bring you great peace in your physical body. I don't know if you currently partake in a spiritual practice or if you do any sacred rituals that are sacred to you and your beliefs, but I feel like that's going to bring a sense of stability, a sense of comfort and ease. And I just want to say that the King of Pentacles is a very physical card. So this is coming up in your spiritual energy and inner fulfillment. So I feel like that's going to piggyback on your health and well-being. I feel like your spiritual state is going to have a physical manifestation. I feel like this card's very important. And I just also want to point out that this card is facing this card. Card 10, what you most need to focus on in the year ahead. 6 of Swords. I feel like there's something that has been left behind. Okay, I feel like it's already been left behind, but you carry with it some baggage. You have some things that you have not fully unpacked. 2025 is going to be the year to unpack, to sift through your emotional baggage, to get past your hurts, your traumas, your losses. I felt like there was loss coming up here. I felt like there was like unfinished things here. I felt like there was perhaps some monetary loss, maybe a loss of a job, some things going on over here. And then this was card 6, relationships and emotions in the upcoming year. That very well could be meeting somebody new or meeting people new and being able to look at them without blinders on. But for the majority of you, this is going to be evaluating people who are already in your life, and you're going to be looking at them with an unfiltered lens. Okay, so there probably is a lot to unpack. I'm going to also leave links in the description for a couple of journals on shadow work. If that's something that you wanted to take up, please check those out. Card 11, your most important lesson for the coming year. 7 of Wands. I feel like this would be overcoming challenges, realizing that no matter what you're up against, you cannot be defeated unless you allow these people to defeat you. I feel like this person, I'm really drawn to the swirling action of this smoke, you know, and I feel like she's picked up this wand from these people who've come at her. She's used their flames, their attacks, to kind of light her own fire. And she's taking what she's learned, what she's gone through, what she's experienced, and she's showing the way to other people. Overall, where are you headed in the next 12 months? 8 of Pentacles. I feel like this is a very comfortable state to be in. This person is working on a craft. And again, this person is teaching what they know to others, passing down their skills. I feel like this could be, I don't normally get this from the 8 of Pentacles, but in this deck I do. I feel like this could be working with a younger generation, or working with newbies in some sense, like teaching what you know, kind of like in a mentorship role. For some of you, I could see you in a very hands-on position, and enjoying what you do, doing what you love. And then I'm really drawn to the flowers everywhere, how it's just kind of flourishing. This person may not necessarily be paid the best in the industry, but this person's comfortable. She enjoys what she does, and people appreciate her work. They appreciate the quality of the work. I feel like this is picking up the pieces from last year, moving forward. Let's see what your Oracle card has to say. We're going to be pulling from Moonology messages today. This one's not going to be in the reverse. Quicksilver moon changes. I definitely see changes being reflected in your reading. I love the swans. To me, that is a beautiful symbol of transformation, of growth. Reminds me of the ugly duckling. Let me grab the guidebook for that and see what this card has to say. Quicksilver moon changes. Nothing stays the same forever. If you want change, rejoice. If you're clinging on to a situation that may well have run its course, however, then this card is a gentle suggestion to release your grip. I can see that coming up over here for this Six of Swords card. I was saying there's stuff that needs to be unpacked. There's stuff that needs to be worked through and released. Nothing about your situation is currently firmly fixed. That could be a good thing, so stay open. Keep your eyes peeled for signs as well. In particular, notice the next song you hear. Is there a message in it for you about your question? If you're not happy about your situation, the good news is that change is afoot, so don't give up. What seems stuck now could be far more flexible quite soon. If you're hoping to change the course you're on now, this is a sign that you can. So take action. Oh my gosh, I definitely felt that coming up here with this card. And that was pertaining to your health and well-being. If the idea of change worries you, try to have a little faith in the universe. Set the intention that whatever happens next is happening for your highest good. The fact that nothing lasts forever is a part of this card's message. Events are moving. Additional meanings for this card include change may be inevitable now. Expect good things. You'll get your answer very soon. Ask a wise woman for advice. Don't cling to the past. And remember, if nothing else, that things change. And as they say, the moon teaches us that it's okay to go through phases. I love that. Okay, so pile one. It looks like 2025 will be a year of transformation, of growth, of change. I feel like you're going to find a little bit more wiggle room in the finance department. In the health department, I feel like things could be improved. You might find a little bit more comfort in your physical body, but you will have to take action. Like your sacred spiritual practice is going to be a big part in this. I'm really drawn to the cat and the shadows, how I felt like shadow work was in order. And then I love how these two cards right here with the Two of Cups and here with the Two of Swords, both two cards. And I felt like you met a lot of people, or you started to open up. They started to open up to you, and now you're coming into the next year and you are going to be really evaluating how you feel. How do these people treat you? How do they treat others? So pile one, this does conclude your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you soon. Happy New Year, pile one. Hello, pile two. If you have selected this little agate stone or Eldritch Overload, this reading is for you. Okay, let's see what your cards have to say today, pile two. So we take a look at 2025. What does pile two need to hear? Scoot these over just a little bit. Okay, pile 2. Card number 1. Oops, let me scoot this back just a tiny bit. Okay. Card number 1, the previous year in summary. Here we have the 4 of Potions, which is like the 4 of Cups. So I feel like 2024 was a year of dissatisfaction, being unamused, possibly feeling completely jaded, kind of like, nothing surprises you. I told you something. I don't know what your idea or opinion, what your theory was on the drones, but I'm really drawn to the drones. It could be for some of you like, whatever, I told you so. This is my theory on that. For some of you, I could see this card coming up like your theories being proven true, that you might have been ridiculed for in the past. And yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to stop at that. Lessons learned from the past year. Queen of Wands. I feel like you've really grown comfortable in your own skin. Perhaps things that people may have pointed out about you, whether true or like in part true, that you don't even care. I love how her cat, which is normally representing her shadow side, even the cat has armor. It's like you can't even phase the cat, like whatever. She's totally confident and she's kind of just like, whatever, swipe, like I don't even care. I feel like you have learned how to be strong, you've learned how to be confident, and you've really learned how to put yourself out there. Aspirations for the next 12 months. Page of Wands. Okay. You might be ready to take on something new. I know that over here you felt kind of jaded. I feel like you might be taking on a new project. I'm really drawn to this little symbol at the top. Big Brother's always watching. I'm wondering if you like conspiracies, if you like digging into conspiracies, pile 2. I'm wondering if you like diving in and getting down to the bottom, uncovering hidden truths. If you're really good at, I'm really drawn to these. To me, they look like claw marks. Like she's like tearing away, scratching deeper than the surface. Card 4, what empowers you in reaching your aspirations? 8 of Coins in the reverse. Okay, I'm going to bring this card in close so you can really take it in and see what's going on here. So in this deck, these people, they give up parts of themselves. They work for these little coins. And this person has lost both arms here. Okay, and they're still working. So I feel like you've lost something. You feel like a part of you has been taken. Something that you care very deeply has been taken. And I feel like you're tired of feeding that machine. Like whatever it is that has been taken from you, I feel like that's what fuels you. Like instead of making you defeated, or making you shrink and be small, that has just emboldened you and it has fueled your fire. And now you work overtime. To reach your aspirations. What may stand in the way of reaching your aspirations? 8 of Swords in the reverse. Okay, that's really interesting because Eight of Swords to me is feeling like a victim, feeling like there's no way out, feeling like your hands are tied. And in the reverse, I see that as not being a victim, um, taking action. What may stand in the way of reaching your aspirations? Not being a victim, not having your hands tied. I don't really know how that's tying into your real life situation, pile 2. I don't know if you've removed yourself from the equation and you don't really talk about your own pain, your own personal struggle. Maybe that may hinder whatever your goal, whatever you aspire to do. Perhaps you may need to share your struggles or share your personal story. Your relationships and emotions in the coming year. 2 of Coins. I feel like you're going to need to find balance in this next coming year. You're going to have to find balance in your physical world. That could be balance with time. That could be balance juggling. If you are into these conspiracies, how much time you spend digging in that world versus living in the present. But like this is saying, just make sure that you have like a healthy balance in your real life. Your time, your relationship with others, your work, all of that. Card 7, your career, work, and finances. Here we have the Emperor in the reverse. I feel like in the upcoming year, you might have difficulty with a boss. If you are the boss, then you may be the one who's difficult, or you may be faced with some pretty tough business decisions. Your health and well-being. Knight of Coins. The Knight of Coins is the slowest moving card in the tarot, but here, our knight is on a motorcycle. He's on one of those little fast ones. And again, I'm really drawn to how this kind of looks like scratching the surface. I feel like you're doing that same thing here in your health and well-being department. You're going deeper than just surface level bullshit. You're really diving in, and you're doing a little bit more than the bare minimum. I feel like you're really taking it serious. It looks like he's got one of those watches that tracks like all of the calories and steps and all that. I don't really, personally, I'm not a fan of those. I know that some of the most popular ones have like PFAS chemicals in the wristbands, and then I'm not a big fan of like the EMF load that you take on personally on your body. So I'm not a big fan of those types of watches. But that's the vibe I'm getting. Like you're paying more attention to like the little details, okay, of your health, and you're diving in, really pulling back the layers, okay? Card 9, your spiritual energy and inner fulfillment. Knight of Potions, another knight. So knights, they're I kind of get more like a college vibe, college age energy from the knights. Okay, so I feel like there's a lot of exuberance in the health and well-being area, and also in the spiritual energy and inner fulfillment. So here we have the Knight of Potions and the Knight of Coins, and they are they're meeting here in the center. I love that. I feel like I feel like the Knight of Coins is going to help give you the physical stamina and the energy to take a more serious approach to your spirituality. And I feel like your spirituality is going to also have a physical manifestation. So I love that these two cards are meeting right here in the center. I feel like you're in for some spiritual surprises in 2025. I feel like you may meet some like-minded people here in this upcoming year. Might be a time to try new things, I feel like this is new adventures in the spirituality department. So I don't know if you're going to be like, go on some sort of like meetup or retreat, but I feel like this is like connecting with people, not only in the digital space. I feel like this would be real world connections with others. Card 10, what you most need to focus on in the year ahead. 10 of Wands in the reverse. I feel like there's some, okay. Pile 2. I don't know if you've watched Clockwork Orange or not, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. This crow or this raven, it's like work, work, work. He's got this like IV thing in, and he's getting injected in his eye. Like instead of looking away, instead of like, he's just there, you know? I feel like this is like a bunch of stuff, a bunch of information, a bunch of tasks, things that you're doing, okay? And I feel like you need to put some of that down. In the year 2025, I feel like you may be bombarded with a lot of information, and there's just too much. Like you'll never be able to take it all in. I feel like this is just kind of putting up like I don't know if you need like a timer or like in your schedule, you know, like from this time to this time, I'm going to be doing something else. I'm not like, I feel like it's being force fed. I don't know if you watch the news or if like you're scrolling through your social media or if you have like groups that you're a part of in the digital space. I don't know, but I feel like you're being force fed this information and you just can't look away, you know, because it's interesting. It's intriguing. I feel like this is like, you have to look away. You can't look at it all the time. Okay. You need to make some better priorities in 2025. Card 11, your most important lesson for the coming year. Justice in the reverse. I feel like your most important lesson for 2025 is going to be that things don't always work out in the way that they should. Life is not always fair, but I feel like some injustices are going to finally be made right. I feel like 2025 is going to kind of be I feel like it's going to kind of be a year like where we like, this sword can be let down. Like what you've been fighting for, you know what I mean? Like it's finally being addressed. Overall, where are you headed in the next 12 months? The Chariot. Oh my gosh, I feel like you're going places, pile 2. You're going to move forward. I feel like you're going to move forward with so much speed, so much momentum. You have so much drive, so much willpower. But again, I'm really drawn to how this card is right underneath this card. 2 of Coins. Here we have 2 wheels. The Chariot is all about balancing the 2 energies, the male yang, the female yin, finding balance. Like I feel like all of this, like whatever drives you, you know, that's like being force-fed information, like scratching away, going deeper and deeper. I feel like that's a bunch of yang energy, and you have to find a way to incorporate some of the yin. Otherwise, you're going to burn yourself out. You're going to get stressed out. It's going to be just too much. And then your body is going to, it's going to hit the body really hard. You know, if you can Google the symptoms of burnout. And I kind of feel like that's the direction you're heading into if you don't learn how to balance your energies. Okay. Make sure you have that time for rest, for resetting your nervous system, not just stressing yourself out. But if you are able to balance those energies, I feel like you're gonna charge forward and you're gonna leave sparks. I feel like this, like it looks like lightning, it's sparks. I kind of feel like these are, it kind of reminds me of a scar. And I feel like it's like when you see a scar, you know, like you remember what happened. You know, you're gonna leave a lasting mark on people's memories. People will remember you. People will remember what you said, even if it's years later. You're going to make an impression on people. Even if you're not in their lives anymore. You guys have gone, you know, you split ways. You guys no longer see or talk to each other anymore. But they will remember what you said. Let's see what your oracle card has to say, pile 2. Okay, we got a jumper. The moon's moment, synchronicity. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, let me see. Synchronicity. Oh, where's my guidebook? Okay, here we go. Okay, your card says something is flowing in the right direction for you when this card comes up. Everything is either already falling into place or will do so very soon. Even if you fervently believe that you create your own reality, as I do, there are times when events have an almost destined feel, and this is one of those times. You could perhaps attribute it to life unfolding and revealing the lessons our souls need to learn in this lifetime. There is synchronicity at work. You're exactly where you're meant to be, learning the lessons you need to learn. Everything is lining up as it needs to, so trust the process as much as you can and stay optimistic for your desired outcome, whatever the situation you're asking about. Know that it's not a random development in your life, but a step along your path and meant to teach you. The sooner you pay attention to the lessons, the sooner you'll be able to navigate your way to where you want to go. Additional meanings for this card include divine timing is unfolding. Events now have a purpose. You're in the right place at the right time. Everything happens for a reason, or there is a reason why everything happens. It says the moon knows exactly where she should be at any one time. So do you. Okay, pile 2. So where do you feel like you belong? Where do you feel like no matter what happens, this is absolutely the thing that you're being called to do? The place that you're being called to go to, the people you're being called to be around, or I feel like this card is asking you to pay attention to any synchronicities that you may notice. Are they really just coincidences? Or was that thing supposed to happen at that exact moment for you to be aware of something else? So pile 2, this does conclude your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for hanging out with me, and Happy New Year, pile 2. Bye for now. Hello, pile 3. If you have selected this heart, I think it's glass, or Lumina Tarot French edition, this reading is for you. I want to apologize in advance if you hear any noise in the background. My neighbors are out and about. I live in a condo, so we have some condo neighbor noise. But I'm going to go ahead and continue with this reading because, the new year is quickly approaching. So let's see what messages your cards have for you today. What does pile 3 need to hear? Ooh, those are not jumpers. This deck is just really slippery. Just kind of lost control there. What does pile 3 need to hear today? Okay, pile 1. Let's see what your cards have to say. Card number 1 is the previous year in summary. Here we have the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like your 2024 was a year that taught you to slow down. Taught you slow and steady wins the race. You don't have to be the quickest or the fastest, but you can still achieve your goals, your dreams, accomplish things by making progress in little bite-sized pieces. Like it was a year that you learned how to do baby steps and really protect and defend that which you care deeply about. Lessons learned from the past year. Queen of Cups. I feel like not only did you learn how to dive deep down into your own emotions, I feel like you learned how to sort through them. You really took the time to understand what you're feeling and why. I feel like 2024 was a year that you looked at things in a way that you never really considered before. I feel like it was a year of spiritual, like a leveling up. It was a year of reflecting. And through the reflections that you've made on your own emotions, on your own past, it's helped you to see things in others differently. You might have developed more compassion, more understanding for others. Really learned how to listen to other people. Aspirations for the next 12 months. Knight of Cups. I'm wondering, pile 3, if you are looking for a new relationship, or if you are in a relationship already, it might be a deeper connection with your partner. Perhaps not so much only based on physical, but like a deeper soul connection, a spiritual connection, really becoming one with that person. Card 4, what empowers you in reaching your aspirations? Let me count these. I don't remember what that number is in French. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure. 10 of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so what empowers you in reaching your aspirations? I feel like there was a painful ending. Something was ripped from you that you did not want to end. Whatever the case, it ended. And you have since gotten over that. You've healed from that. But because that thing was taken away from you, I feel like it launched you in a completely different direction. I feel like you learned a lot and you grew so much from this experience. What may stand in the way of reaching your aspirations? Four of batons. I feel like this could be home life obligations. Could be due to children, lack of childcare, or just busyness, not really feeling like you have the time, or your home life might require a lot of attention. You might kind of be feeling like you're being pulled in all of these different directions. I'm really drawn to how these wands are pointing in like the four cardinal directions. You know, it's like your mind is being pulled one way. Physically, the physical demands of home life are pulling you in another direction. Your mind wanders off to some other, location. And you long to be somewhere else. That could be with or without your family. You might be thinking about the past. You might be thinking about things that you aspired to do and never fully were able to realize those goals, those hopes, those dreams. But I feel like that drifting in those four different directions might stop you. Like you might need to recenter. Your relationships and emotions in the coming year. Eight of Pentacles. I feel like you're going to really be working successfully on your relationships and your emotions. Like making progress, slow and steady progress. I'm really drawn to the yellow. It's like the solar plexus. It reminds me of like the moth coming to the flame, and it's like, I feel like your drive, your focus, your energy is going to inspire others. I feel like you can heal, you can improve, you can solve problems by being a leader, by leading by example. Your career, work, and finances. Here we have the Lovers. Okay, so career, work, and finances. I could see this as being in a harmonious relationship. I could also see this as having really big decisions come across your plate or your desk, your workspace. Things that you need to really sit and see how they fall in line with your beliefs. Like, what do you believe is right and what is wrong? I feel like that there may be some big challenges in this department, but for the most part, you will feel at peace in your career, your work, and finances. But there's some big decisions here. I'm really drawn to the Gemini symbol in the back, and the Gemini is like about communications, and Gemini is also a bridge between the two worlds. So I feel like it's like a reconciliation of your physical life and your spiritual beliefs, whatever those may be. How do you reconcile what you do career-wise with what you believe? Your health and well-being. Temperance in the reverse. This card is suggesting that there is an imbalance. There's an imbalance between your masculine, yang, and your feminine, yin. Yin is a very healing, restful, peaceful state, and the yang is very active. This is a collective reading. It's not an individual reading. So with this card being in the reverse, I do feel like it's imbalanced. I'm more prone to think that the yin state is going to apply to most of you. And in that instance, like if you found yourself not really that active in taking care of your health, your physical health, and your well-being, then it's time 2025 to take a more active approach to that. I very much can see that as physical activity level. Or if you have an injury and you're not allowing it to heal because you're being too active, I could also see that as like needing to embody more of the yin energy. So you'll have to fill in the blanks there as to what is going on in your life, but bringing balance. You know, if you're too active, if you're too much driving and it's not contributing to your health, if you need to back off on your activity level, then please do that. And if you are underactive or you're not taking an active approach to your health and well-being, well, then this card is suggesting 2025 is your year. Your spiritual energy and inner fulfillment. Five of Pentacles. I'm really drawn to this apple and how it's like, it's deteriorating. It's like corroded. It's rotten. I'm not saying that your spiritual energy is rotten, but I'm saying it could be better. I'm really drawn to the symbology of the apple, and it makes me think of the poisoned apple from what's that cartoon? It's like a Disney cartoon. The Sleeping Beauty, I think, where she takes the poisoned apple and she eats it. I think, yeah, Sleeping Beauty. Who's offering you a poisoned apple? You know, and is what you're being fed leading to your spiritual sleep? Like, is it shutting down your intuition? Is it shutting down your personal growth because you're being fed bullshit? Or are you being fed something and you're refusing to take it? I can see that as like when you bring fruit into the home and you put it in a fruit bowl. Well, you know, it's there, it's nutritious, but if you don't actually pick up the fruit and eat it, if you don't consume it and allow it to become a part of you, then it's just going to rot in the bowl. I could see that as coming into play too. Are you consuming what you're being fed? What you most need to focus on in the year ahead. Nine of Swords. Where does your mind drift to? I feel like this is going to be in the year 2025. Okay, so in 2025, where is your mind drifting to? I'm really drawn to, I forget what it's called, but like that circle, you know, they make it in like Zen. And like if you make it like in one smooth brush stroke, they say like the more Zen you are, then the more perfect your circle will become. It's like an active meditation. I feel like you're blocking that in 2025. Like there's something that comes up and you're just like, oh, I don't want to look at that. You know, like I could see this coming into play, especially following this card. What do I most need to focus on? It's like, what are you turning your back on? You're not wanting to look at those. You're not wanting to take the time to practice. And why? Because you're focused on over here. You're focused on these swords that are sticking up at you. These perils, these things that might happen. but you're a bat. You have wings, you can fly. You have no need to fear this down here because you can rise above it. You know, like you can just, you can move. You can move over here, you can move over here. Focus on rising above. Focus on your practice. Find your state of Zen. Find your state of bliss. You know, what brings you peace, and practice that. Don't just sit here focusing on the things that stress you out and the things that give you anxiety and the things that give you headaches and keep you up at night and worry. You know, shift your focus. Your most important lesson for the coming year. Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel like your most important lesson for the coming year will be taking care of yourself, self-care. I'm really drawn to how this card is right underneath this one with the Four of Batons. And I felt like how you know, we're being pulled in all of these different directions in some way in your home life. I feel like you really need to center yourself. Perhaps working on your root chakra. Your root chakra does deal with the way that you grew up, your parents. It definitely involves your feelings of safety and security, of having your basic needs met. And it would also include taking care of those at home. Any fears surrounding that. Overall, where are you headed in the next 12 months? Queen of Swords in the reverse. Again, I do feel like there are some difficult decisions that are to be made in the upcoming year. So when you're faced with difficult decisions, I feel like this is a card that you're meant to remember. The Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords hasn't always had it easy. She does have these memories, you know, but she doesn't let that deter her from what she needs to do. The Queen of Swords is nobody's fool. She's got her falcon here. He can fly above and tell her what's going on. She's got a giant sword. She can use that to cut through the bullshit. She can also use it to keep people at bay should she need to. But it's a symbol, along with this headband, of her critical thinking, of her ability to see things that others cannot, and to make the difficult decisions that others cannot. I feel like you might be called on to make difficult decisions. People might come to you for advice, and it's going to be up to you to put emotions aside. Think with your brain, not your heart, when making these decisions. I feel like you're 2025, you're going to kind of be at odds, because here with the Lovers card, what was that? That was card 7. That was your career, work, and finances. And I felt like that was going to have to be like bridging a gap, finding some way to reconcile the, like, what you feel in the physical world, like what you aspire to do, whatever your job is, whatever. Like, how does that sit with what you believe? And then also I felt like the Lovers is also a card about decisions. And then over here we have decisions too. The Lovers, I kind of get the feeling like it's more decisions that are aligning with your spirituality, okay, with your religious beliefs. And then over here, I feel like this is making difficult decisions and putting your feelings aside. So time will tell how that comes into play. 2025, I definitely see that as a time of some tough decisions. And then these two cards, I felt like those were making sure that you partake in your spiritual practice, that you're actually digesting the fruit. You're taking the time to practice. And if you look at the reading, you know, this is like in the center, it's in the heart, and it's like at the foundation of it. So I really feel like these cards are very important. And if you look at this, like if it was like on a seesaw, this would be in the center. You know, everything would be hinging on these two cards. So let's see what your oracle card has to say. Void moon, do nothing. Oh my gosh, and this person's literally sitting out in the middle of the desert alone, meditating. Not taking action before she weighs the scales. Oh my gosh, it's literally like weighing the scales. Let me see what this card has to say. Void moon, do nothing. Your card says, as a very powerful being, you know that you're creating your reality with your thoughts and actions every day. Even so, drawing this card suggests that you need to do nothing for now. This is a time to tread water, so to speak. Allow at least 24 hours to pass before you take any further action. This isn't the time to set intentions, make wishes, or try to influence anyone. Now is the time to just be. Meditate, do yoga, take a walk in nature. I definitely feel like that is tying in with this card over here, the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, and how I felt like that was taking time for self-care. I can also see that coming up here, like when you have these big, heavy decisions, you know, take a moment to fully think them over, to sit with them, to see how you feel. It says there is a good chance that whatever you're worried about isn't going to manifest. I saw that coming up here with this card. Having a lot of worry, a lot of fear about things that might not even come into play. It is said that whatever begins under the void of coarse moon bears no fruit. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm just knocking all these cards around. So drawing this card suggests any anxiety you have is unwarranted and will only cause you more issues. However, if you're really hoping for something to happen, there is also a good chance it's not going to, at least not yet. You need to be patient. This isn't a negative card per se, but it does suggest no change is coming as yet. Additional meanings for this card include worrying achieves nothing, there's nothing to worry about, the time for action has passed, allow events to unfold in their own time, nothing will come of this situation. Depending on whether you use the traditional or modern definition of the void of coarse moon, it takes place every other couple of days or just a couple of times a year. Either way, it's a time to do nothing as much as you possibly can. Okay, so I feel like as often as you can fit into your schedule, and I do suggest you actually putting it into your schedule with a timer, putting it on your calendar with a reminder, time to do nothing, meditate, chant, take part in your sacred spiritual practice, do yoga, do Tai Chi, Do something for you. Take a bath. Go sing in the shower. If you're in the bath, you're not in there running over your to-do lists mentally. You're not going on a walk or a hike with your cell phone in hand, checking emails, sending out text messages, reviewing work, anything of that nature. You're taking time for you. So pile 3, this does conclude your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for hanging out with me, and happy 2025. Happy New Year. Bye for now. Hello, pile 4. If you've selected the Selenite Wand or Slavic Legends Tarot, this reading is for you. Okay, let's see what your cards have to say to you today. Okay, so we do have a jumper. I'll leave this over here for now. We'll come back to that card in a bit. Okay, pile 4. Let's see what your cards have to say. I'm going to scoot this out just a little bit. Okay, card number 1. The previous year in summary. The Devil in the reverse. Okay, I could see 2024 as a year when you gave in to some addictions, some vices, perhaps some really bad habits that had a profound impact on 2024. I can also see that at some point during the year that you decided, this is not in my best interest, and I can see a break away from that. Lessons learned from the past year. The Tower in the reverse. As a collective reading, I could see people falling into both categories. I could see this as disaster averted because you walked away or because you decided this was not in your best interest. You avoided a worse situation from happening. You avoided your Tower moment. For others, that may not have been the case. I can see you actually having your Tower moment. I call the Tower the oh shit card. I can see this as something totally unexpected, rocks your world, and now it leaves you picking up the pieces. See you in the rebuilding phase. Definitely see that as a learning from your mistake card. Aspirations for the next 12 months. King of Swords in the reverse. feel like you would like to make better decisions. You would like to not make such stupid, foolish decisions just on a whim. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh yeah. That'll be great. And I love how he's holding his sword. It's a double-edged sword, and you know, he doesn't have a sheath on it. You know, you don't want to make decisions that are going to hurt you in 2025. What empowers you in reaching your aspirations? The Eight of Wands. I see this as growth, as progress. For some of you, this may be moving from your current situation physically. You might seek to move. You might seek to relocate from places, from people who know you or as a certain person or as a certain way, or moving away from temptation. Could also see this as progress. I'm really drawn to how it's a phoenix, you know, rising from the ashes. Here's this tower moment. And what empowers you, you want to rise from the ashes. I also can't get over the fact that Phoenix is a school. So for some of you, you know, you may wish to pick up the pieces and go back to school. It doesn't necessarily have to be Phoenix, but it could be like some sort of online learning course, or it could actually be going to school. But I definitely see this as like going. There's a movement, there's progress, there's growth. What may stand in the way of reaching your aspirations? Temperance. If you give in to temptation, if you lose your balance, if you lose your footing, if you allow your emotions to get the best of you. Your relationships and emotions in the coming year. King of Cups in the reverse. I feel like this is coming in to a state of understanding in the upcoming year. You're not there yet, but you'd like to be. I'm really drawn to all the seaweed. And where does the seaweed grow? It grows down deep, and then it chases the light. It's got a lot of emotions to sift through. I see fish as surprises. There's going to be a lot of surprises that you uncover along the way. But what do? You don't turn and run. You examine the fish. You check them out. Like, oh, what kind of fish is this? What color is it? Why is it here? You know, really examining it. I love how he's holding the cup. He's not really like hands-on holding it, you know, like, I just finished my coffee. He's not like this, you know, he's kind of holding it like this. And I feel like it's more like in a meditative, it's in like a meditative gesture. I feel like he's holding space. I feel like this may be a difficult situation. I feel like you might have to listen to other people tell you how you made them feel during this time of your life. You might be able to express yourself. I'm really drawn to the reeds. And I remember I was watching this thing. I don't know if it was on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, but it was like this. And they're talking about how you could filter water through reeds. And I feel like you're filtering through. You know, you're going through, you're going back, you're revisiting this stuff, and you're filtering through. Like you're removing toxins, you're removing waste from your thoughts, from your emotions, and you're in that way healing your relationships with others, but also your relationship with yourself. Your career, work, and finances. 3 of Coins. I could see this as possibly starting a new career. I could see this as beginning to work on your finances. If you are employed, I can see this as working well with others. This could be being a member of a team, working on projects, learning a new skill, learning a new trade. I do see a supervisor. I see like some, like under a watchful eye. Your health and well-being. The Emperor in the reverse. I feel like your health and well-being could be stronger. I feel like you need to get down to the root cause, work on your foundation. I'm really drawn to a tree. What does the tree do? The tree, you know, with the roots, it gets the water and what is it sucking up? It's sucking up nutrients. Like, what is your nutritional health like? Are you getting enough vitamins? Are you getting enough minerals? What kind of water are you drinking? What are you drinking? I'm really drawn to these, they're stones, but for me, they look like blood, you know? They look like blood cells. I feel like feed your cells. Feed your cells. Nourish your body. And by nourishing your cells, like that's how you're going to really improve your health. Your spiritual energy and inner fulfillment. Queen of Cups. 2025 is a year of healing the heart chakra. It's a time of forgiveness. Of being emotionally fulfilled. Again, we're down in the deep emotional waters. The Queen of Cups is compassionate, not only for herself, also for others. And notice the gesture of her hands is very different from over here. Card 6, your relationships and emotions in the coming year. Here he's kind of like holding it like this. And here she's embracing it to herself. She's embracing it to her heart chakra. And this is 679, your spiritual energy and inner fulfillment. Yeah. Kind of reminds me, these little things on her headdress, they're pearls, but they kind of remind me of tears, you know, and it kind of feels like she's catching them. She's catching her tears. I feel like let yourself cry. There's healing in that. I feel like it cleanses the soul. It will bring you peace. Allow yourself to cry. What you most need to focus on in the year ahead. Ace of Coins. I feel like you need to keep yourself busy. I feel like you need to get yourself a hobby. Something that is relevant to your growth and your transformation. I'm really drawn to how she has no clothing on. She's in a state of undressed. She's blocked by her roots, which are also her hair, and this coin, this disc. Again, I feel like these things are cells. I feel like she's rebuilding herself from the inside out. She's nourishing her body. She's allowing herself to flourish. She's allowing herself the time for transformation. And she's also making sure that she has healthy habits. I feel like you need to have a healthy habit, a healthy hobby, something to keep you occupied so you don't fall back into these old patterns. When you get bored, what do? Your most important lesson for the coming year. The Empress. I feel like the old you is no longer. Your most important lesson for the upcoming year is, I feel like, what's growing inside of her belly. The Empress is, I'm sure you can hear that. That's my neighbors. I can't avoid it. I'm going to keep going. I feel like the most important lesson for this coming year is what the magic that's growing inside of her belly. And I feel like it's what you are going to bring forth into the world. But it's like the baby growing inside of her. You know, it doesn't just happen overnight. She has to nourish it. Again, it's like the cellular level, you know, feeding the cells. And only by feeding the cells can you also nourish the new you that's going to be reborn, the person you're yet to become. You'll be learning who you are to become in this next year. Like, it's going to be a time of nurturing yourself, of learning how to love yourself, learning how to forgive. Overall, where are you headed in the next 12 months? 6 of Coins in the reverse. I feel like right now you may be in a position where you feel like you have nothing to offer other people. But within the next 12 months, you're going to realize that you do have a lot to offer people. Maybe right now you're this person who's still picking up the pieces. You might feel like a failure. You might feel like a charity case, like a loser, like you've lost so much. You know, you weren't always in this position, but you might feel like through your bad choices, you gave up so much. You lost so much. You lost who you could have been. Now you kind of feel like, oh, you know, you have to, like, you need charity or pity from people. And that might be like a really uncomfortable situation to be in. But over these next 12 months, you're going to realize that you do have a lot to offer to people, even if it's only in your experience, what you've learned, what you've gained through this time. I feel like you're going to come to understand that you will be an inspiration to others. Over these next 12 months, you're going to find yourself in a position where you're able to help others in some way. One thing I want to point out, like kind of like a little disclaimer with this, there are a lot of scams going on right now. Please be aware of your surroundings. Please don't be a victim. Please don't be naive. You know, don't be taken advantage of. But I do feel like you will be in a position to help people. That could be financially. That could be through your story. That could be like through barter trade. I don't know, but like that you're going to be presented. Somebody's going to remind you of you. Okay, I feel like this is the one. This one's like rocketing out. Quicksilver moon changes. So your card, Quicksilver moon changes. Oh, let me bring it up so you can see. This card says nothing stays the same forever. If you want change, rejoice. If you're clinging to a situation that may well have run its course, however, then this card is a gentle suggestion to release your grip. Nothing about your situation is currently firmly fixed. That can be a good thing, so stay open. Keep your eyes peeled for signs as well. In particular, notice the next song you hear. Is there a message in it for you about your question? If you're not happy about your situation, the good news is that change is afoot. so don't give up. What seems stuck now could be far more flexible quite soon. If you're hoping to change the course you're on now, this is a sign that you can, so take action. If the idea of change worries you, try to have a little faith in the universe. Set the intention that whatever happens next is happening for your highest good. The fact that nothing lasts forever is a part of this card's message. Events are moving. Additional meanings for this card include: change may be inevitable now. Expect good things. You'll get your answer soon. Ask a wise woman for advice. Don't cling to the past. Remember, if nothing else, that things change. And as they say, the moon teaches us that it's okay to go through phases. I love it. So let me look at this card over here, this Wheel of Fortune. I feel like that's the overarching theme of your reading. This card jumped out right away. And the Wheel of Fortune is a card of change. The Wheel of Fortune is a card that says nothing lasts forever. Everything is always in motion. And your card jumped out like this. So when I see cards like this, I read this as the Wheel of Fortune coming into the upright position, which is a card of good fortune, which is a card that signifies that your luck is changing. Things are moving into your favor. I'm really drawn to these hands right here and how they're spinning this like ethereal thread. You know, it's not just happening, but sheer happenstance. You know, it's like all of the little threads, all of these little strings are like decisions in your life, you know, and they all come together and they get woven together to make a thread, and that thread becomes the tapestry of your life. So things are changing. I do feel like that's a message that's being really hammered home for you, pile 4. Things are changing, but they are happening by your actions or your lack of actions, the direction you choose to take your life in. So pile 4, this does conclude your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for hanging out with me, and Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Bye for now.